就是。 Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, there was a little issue. There was a little issue with the meeting.
Did you know that an average Harvard graduate only makes about $90,000 a year? I'm not kidding. This is a real stat.
الزبون اللي تحلق حتى ارتفع اختار الشخص الصح ما عندي.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming in tonight. Please, if you can hear me, can you just say yay, or can you just do a thumbs up, or can you just do some clapping or something?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey,
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sincere apologies. We had some issues with Zoom, the conflict of the meeting ID and the actual event that we were meant to use. So that was what caused the initial hiccups, but we've updated the main website and we've updated a couple of things. So I guess we should be fine now.
What is Olowo? Is he an honorary?
Okay, so we will get started. We have 27 people in the meeting room. Okay, so thank you. Good evening, everyone. So we would start without further delay. Thank you for coming. So I'm Tosin Shobukola, as you all very well know. I am the host and I'm the convener of Analytics Africa, which is a non-profit organization which is focused on helping us bring together the practitioners of analytics in Africa. We have a lot of people who are practicing data or analytics, but we are all doing it in isolation. So this initiative is to ensure that we are able to come together as one and also to tell the African story in a better way. This meeting is being recorded and is also being streamed on YouTube. So please, if you do not feel comfortable with us recording, let us know. We have our resources in the meeting online, and they would work with us to support in case we have any issues. Okay, so as people begin to come in, we are a bit behind schedule. But can we just come introduce ourselves? Just tell us your name in any particular order, just for the next 5 minutes before we get started. So tell us your name, tell us what you do, tell us where you're connecting from, and possibly what country you are connecting from. Thank you. So we'll do that for the next few minutes. I would not introduce myself too much, but because you are going to hear so much more about me. So can we just start? And any volunteer can start by introducing himself or herself. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nana Urieke. I'm joining in from Lagos, Nigeria, and I work for Microsoft. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tokwe Badiru. I'm joining from Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. I'm a mathematics teacher who is interested in data analytics. Thank you.
I'm Jennifer Oyelade. I'm a talent acquisitions director. I'm joining from Istanbul, but that's not my base, but that's where I'm joining from. And yeah, I'm just here to be able to shed some light on data and its relevance in the future of work.
My name is Babafemi Ogunbamila. I am the Chief Information Officer at InSwitch. I get to do a lot of work with data. So this is quite interesting for me. And I'm connecting from Lagos. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I am Joseph Akinpelu. I am collecting from Lagos. I work for the Lagos State Government as a railway signal and telecommunication engineer. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Akim Obola Emeku, currently working as IT business analyst with UBA. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's continue.
Hello,
Let's continue. Yes, thank you.
Hi, everyone. Since nobody wants to turn their camera on, let me go first. Hi, everyone. My name is Mercy Jojibafe. I'm the founder of Lento and a Microsoft certified trainer. And I'm very passionate about data. So I'm very excited to be here as we network and connect and learn from each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Mercy. I think I like that introduction. So welcome you.
Okay. Hi,
All right.
everyone.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adewale Yusuf. I lead the business intelligence team in dBrown Consulting. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer and also Microsoft's most valuable professional. And I'm excited about this.
Hello, everybody. Ola Odola is my name. I'm a sales and marketing professional. I'm excited to be here.
Please, let's
Hello,
continue.
everyone.
We have 1 more minute.
Okay. My name is Adibayo Shetayo. I'm a business analyst joining in from Nigeria. Thank you all.
My name is Consultant, from Lagos, Nigeria. excited to be here.
Capital letter at the exclamation mark. One more minute, please. One more minute, please. Okay, so since no one else wants to introduce himself, I guess we can start. The agenda for today is quite simple. We will start with a keynote address, with an introduction. Apologies, we will start with an introduction from Babafemi. Babafemi is the CIO of InterSwitch Nigeria Limited. InterSwitch is Nigeria's and Africa's first unicorn. InterSwitch was the company that successfully acquired an ATM switching license and has been the only company that has successfully implemented a switching license in Nigeria. In Nigeria, the last time I checked, there were about 4 or 5. Only about 2 or 3 have consistently done it in the past 5 to 10 years. But over the past 20 years this year, InterSwitch has been switching every blessed day. Other players have gone and come, or have been bought, or have been sold, or have been renamed, or have been rebranded. But I promise you, InterSwitch is the only company that has been switching and giving you consistent ATM services in Nigeria and helping Nigeria use their cards abroad. They deal with a whole lot of data, as Babafemi said. Among many other things they do, one of their biggest day-to-day activities is dealing with data. So Babafemi, over to you. Please give us your opening address before we go for the keynote. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Tosin, and thanks for asking me to come on here to speak about data. And again, we're all aware that we all know that data analytics we play a very critical role for all our companies, for all our endeavors, right? Now and into the future. I think sometime back we used to say software is eating the world. Nowadays we say AI is eating software, and the road to AI, it goes through data, right? It goes through data analytics. It goes through big data analytics, right? And what you find is that data analytics itself is at the core of your digital transformation as an organization. Tosin, you probably want to put that, you probably want to mute your end. All right. So like I was saying, data at the core of all businesses, digital transformation. And digital transformation is no longer a buzzword. I know sometime back, a few years back, when this all started, it appeared that it was just something that the big companies were trying to use to sell more products. But again, data transformation is real, and it's really around building the system of intelligence that allows us to empower our employees, that allows us to engage more with our customers, that allow us to optimize our operations, and then invariably transform the product that we provide to our customers as well, right? What you need to get that, to build that system of intelligence, really relies on a lot of data. And there's data everywhere. As long as you're in business, as long as you're doing transactions, as long as you are interacting with your customers, you are generating data. All right. But the real challenge is how do you, the real challenge is in asking the right questions, is being able to ask the right questions of that data. And it's not a trivial thing, right? And that's where the real gap is. that's where we now need skills, we need people, we need talent that we're able to ask the right questions on data that we have within our environments, and then provide us with good information that we can use to grow our businesses. And that's why I'm so excited about what Tosin is doing here with Analytics Africa, because what he's trying to do is really create a community where people can learn, right? Where people can exchange ideas on how best to approach it, on kind of questions you should be asking, on kind of use cases that are important for us to grow our organizations and to grow the economy at large. So welcome to you all to Analytics Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Babafemi. That was a very, very beautiful introduction. So we would move very quickly to the next item on the agenda, which is the keynote address. The keynote address is given by Oremeyin Aka. And who is Oremeyin Aka? Oremeyin is a very, very powerful lady. That is the simplest way to put it. And in a minute, you will be seeing her profile on the screen. I'm trying to share my screen. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Please let me know when you can see my screen. I'm trying to share it now. I've shared it.
Still loading.
It's still loading. Okay. Is it loaded now?
Not yet.
How about now?
No. Yes, we can see it now.
Thank you very much. So Oremeyin Aka is the Chief Customer Success Officer of InterSwitch Nigeria. A very beautiful coincidence that the opening address was given by Babafemi, who also is the Chief Information Officer of InterSwitch. So maybe I should just do a little confession. Post NYSC, I started my working career at InterSwitch. So Babafemi and Oremeyin are both ex-colleagues. Of course, colleagues is the mild way of putting it. They are ex-senior colleagues. Babafemi was my first manager when I got into InterSwitch. He actually recruited me into InterSwitch. He actually recruited me into InterSwitch in 2009. So Oremeyin has about 20 years of work as a payment processing. In fact, she has just worked in almost every department at InterSwitch. She has an MBA in business administration from George Business School, University of Cambridge, UK, and her concentration there was international business. She also has an engineering background, studied from the University of Benin, and she was the first certified e-payment postillion trainer in Africa, outside South Africa. So that means she used to do postillion, she used to do switching, she used to do a lot of stuff. And she has been training staff over 20 years in over 20 organizations and in 3 countries. She is, the simplest way of describing Oremeyin is just to think, when you think of energy, just think of Oremeyin. She speaks with energy, she works with energy, she does everything with energy, but it's good energy. It's not the bad one. It's very infectious and it's always exciting. But one thing I like about her again is she's a very humble woman. In spite of all her achievements, she's as humble as can be. So please, with a virtual round of applause, let us welcome Oremeyin Aka as she delivers her keynote address. Thank you.
Thank you, Tosin. Thank you, Analytics Africa. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I just want to confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we
We
can.
can hear you. We can see you in your African apparel.
Yes, we can hear you.
Very deliberate. So I want to say thank you to Analytics Africa and Tosin for that. For the profile read. I appreciate that. I want to thank Baba Femi, my colleague, my friend. Again, someone I've worked with for 2 decades, and it's great to be here. Tosin is more than a former colleague. Tosin is a friend. He's someone we gladly collaborate with any day, anytime. And I'm excited and honored, totally honored to be able to deliver the keynote speech tonight. And let's see how this goes. I love what Analytics Africa is doing, bringing people together, because we are always stronger together. So I'll go right into it. And Tosin, please help me roll my slides. So in my MBA course, there's this joke I heard and I laughed and I never forgot it. Tosin, first slide, please. Okay, and it basically, so it was in a statistics class. And
sorry, can you hear me? Tosin, do you want to remove it from presenter slide and show the full slide?
Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for that, Mercy. Tosin, are we good?
Yes, I would reshare.
Okay, so we'll just wait a bit.
Okay. Apologies, I was sharing the wrong screen. Yeah.
Okay.
Please continue. Yeah, please continue, Remy.
All right, great. So as I said, there's this joke that I came across and in my statistics class in MBA, and I never forgot it. And when I knew I was coming to speak to data experts today, which I am not, I just recalled it. So basically, Benjamin Disraeli said that there are 3 kinds of lies in the world: lies, regular lies, damned lies, and statistics. And basically, the concept here is data will show you what you are looking for and how you present it. So depending on how you present data, data is information, data is statistics. Depending on how you present it and how you project it and the perspective with which you analyze it, that will determine what you find or the conclusions you draw from it. So basically, that's what it says. Next slide, please. Now, if we consider Africa as a continent, we are Analytics Africa. Please, there's an animation here. Tosin, just help me hit the button. If you consider Africa, now when you look at the world population, this is the population of the world. Now, the fact that you have Asia is the yellow, no, sorry, thank you. Asia is the yellow line. We know that the growth, the population in Asia is amazing. Great growth, great. But if you look at it and project into the future, actually by the year 2100, that's about 80 years from now. We're not very far away from it. By the year 2050, actually, 2 out of every 5 children will be born in Africa. And by the year 2100, Africa will have overtaken Asia in the number of aged youths. So what that basically tells us is this: Africa is the seat of power. When I say power, of human capital in the world. You can see the other continents there. You almost cannot see Australasia. That's Australia, Oceania, and those countries there. They're almost invisible. But when it comes to young minds, young people, Africa is the #1 place, not just in the past, but in the current and projected into the future. So that tells us that our human capital is rich, because of course it takes young minds to build your economy. It takes young people to build your continent, the environment. If you have an aged population like you find in Europe today, where it's a major challenge, even in Japan, in China, when you find that the average number of children born to a household in Japan, for example, 0 point something, so less than 1. So that tells you there are a lot of households that don't have children. So you have an aged population, and it means that if you do not find the right workforce to inject into such an economy, it will naturally die. But Africa has this growth rate, this potential, and this is huge. So this is data I'm presenting, but I'm presenting it in this way. Next slide, please. Now, if you consider the map of the world, this is the map of the world, nothing new about it. But then again, going back to data, depends on how you look at it. This is supposedly the geographical map of the world by landmass, which even that is in current debate, but that's a story for another day. But if you were considering the map of the world, not just from the geographical aspect, if you were considering it from, say, population, how will it look like? Next slide, Tosin. How will it look if you are considering the map of the world from the perspective of population? This is how it will look. Africa bloated. South America, okay, but towards the end really thins out. Again, Australia is almost non-existent. You can hardly see Europe. Asia and Africa are the big boys. So when you talk of population, so like I said in the previous slide, and this just further confirms it, Africa will account for the highest population by 2050. Now, is this a vice or is it a virtue? It depends on us. So here, I know I'm talking to data experts, and I'm just trying to say, if we can roll our minds and consider the power of information, which is what data is and statistics. The truth, like Babafemi said, data is the new oil, is the new gold. But it depends on how you deploy it and how you use it. Now, if you also consider the map of the world from another perspective, next slide, please. If you considered it from the perspective of educated and enlightened minds, how will it look? Let's check it out. Now, this is how it will look. Africa is almost non-existent. We're talking of investment in education by government and by families. So this map is basically looking at the investment done in education. It's an old map, 2015, but the recent ones are not very different from this as well. So when you look at China, you can see the huge investment. China is this light red underneath the dark red. The dark red is Russia. China is the light red. You can see China's investment in education, huge. Look at India. Nigeria in Africa, Nigeria is even standing out. Of course, South Africa is the big boy here in Africa. But look at Europe. You could not see Europe when it came to population. But when it comes to investment in education, they stand out. Now, what is this saying to us again? This is saying that data is so powerful. Statistics, it depends on how you look at it. So while someone has it, say this is the map of the world, this is also the map of the world. But depends on what is the data, what lens you are looking through. But this also tells us something else. We said data is the new oil. We said in order for us to develop, data must be at the core, and we know that. But if in Africa, our investment in education is so low, that tells us, guys, we have our work cut out for us. And this is not just formal education. This is everything. And that's why I hail Analytics Africa for what they are doing, because this is some form of education where you come and you meet your colleagues, your people that have the same interest as yourself. You rub minds and you live enlightened, you live educated. So education is not I went to school, I have a certificate, but if I have access to information, I'm able to process that information. Now, the great Nelson Mandela said, education is the great engine of personal development. It is through education that someone can move from a peasant to a doctor, that the son of a minor worker can become the head of the mine. It is what we make out of what we have, and it's not what we are given. And I really agree with this. I believe it will take us Africans. We can sit and whine about our problems. But I started with the slide of human capital to show us, yes, we have issues in Africa, our issues full ground, but we have huge opportunities. But what lens are you looking at it through? That is why data is so key. Because if the data is well presented and we are not just projecting the issues and the ills, which are real, but we are presenting the data to show the opportunities, my goodness, Africa is set on the right track if we do that. If we spend time to invest in the minds of people, educate people formally, of course, but even, in every way possible, the potential for Africa's growth is huge. Now, I'm just bringing some context here. Now we look at, again, this data is not very recent, probably just before COVID, but I'm sure it has not moved so much. But by this time, you can see that the opportunities for growth in Africa, there's so much fertile land to till, and when I say that, I'm not talking of physical land, I'm saying the opportunities, because looking across, it's very important. Urbanization rate, the penetration of internet, the penetration of social media users, that has gone up quite a bit. It's hitting close to 50 now, but you can see that we have not hit an average of 50 across some very important metrics. So that shows that we have our work cut out for us. And what is the importance of data? Data is information. Data is light. Without light, you will just be boxing in the dark, throwing loose punches and not really doing anything. So the importance of what Analytics Africa is doing, and yourselves as data experts, data practitioners, data analysts, data scientists, cannot be overemphasized. Now, not every government may yet have appreciated or embraced the import of data, not just data on lip service, but the import of data that has integrity. But I believe that as professionals, we can bring the value of what data can do to the fore, and we can have a voice where it matters. I'll end with my next slide, Tosin. Thank you. No, not this, yes. No, so I was excited when Femi talked of efficiency in operations. I have a background in operations, so I tried to make sure Oreme don't come and be talking operations here, but I just couldn't, right? Because operations is all about everyday work, doing work, input turning to output, which is what everybody aims to do when you wake up in the morning. Your input could be your time, your input could be your knowledge, your input could be your people. Africa has the input of people, but the output will only be commensurate to how efficient the operations, which is the process of converting inputs to output, is. Now, for the SMEs and the private sector, they kind of know what to do with data. So you look at people, these days, look at online sales. People know, oh, I should sell on Instagram, or Instagram, my market will move better if I'm selling shoe and bag and human hair, but people like to see picture. But if I'm selling this other thing, maybe Facebook is a better. So SMEs and private sector are catching on to data quite well. The industries are catching on. And when I say industries, I'm talking of the industry verticals from health to education to transportation. People are catching on. But you see, the challenge with Africa is the silos. Until we can grow beyond the silos and make data front and center, not just in the private sector or in the in separate industries, but in the government. I'm excited about what's going on in Edo State. I'm from Edo State by birth, and so maybe I'm a bit partial, but I respect what's going on in Edo State and what they are using data to do with respect to driving education at the primary level. I don't have time to go into it, but you can research. Obaseki is doing great things. We need more of that. And beyond the government, just to, again, state government, doing it in silos is it's great, but it could be better when it's on a larger scale. Baba Femi talked of big data. Africa has huge data everywhere. But until it is aligned, until the integrity of that data, it can be vetted and can be vouched for. For example, how many are we in Nigeria? Are we 170 million? Are we 200 million? Are we 220? We don't even know. It's just guess. Why? Because the last census, the data for political, everybody took hand, political interest, everybody put head, put hand. By the time the data came out, we're not sure what this is. And because of that, we can plan very well. Because of that education, you cannot plan for, 5 new babies are born. Therefore, I need schools in this area. And that is how powerful data is. So I know the journey is long and far, but I'll say this, guys, it takes Africans to solve African problems. And I just want to again commend Analytics Africa for doing this. And I want to say, in whatever sphere you are, to whatever area of data ecosystem, whatever area of the value chain you play, don't be discouraged. People say Africa is their hope and Nigeria far things. Don't be discouraged. It takes a step by step, but quickly we will solve our problems if we are committed to. Thank you very much. And yes, thank you again to Analytics Africa. Thank you for the opportunity to give this keynote speak. And I mean, I believe we're going to have even more insights coming to us from the panel. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Orema. Can we give her a virtual round of applause? Even if you can make it heard on the call, beautiful. And if you can make it visible, please let's give her a round of applause. Thank you so much, Orema. And I'm so grateful that you have been able to coin the matter as beautifully as it should be. Yes, thank you so much. I promise you, if we don't wake up to do it, nobody's going to do it for us as Africans. And if we don't tell our story, there will always be a different narrative of the true facts. So thank you very much. And the most amazing one, like you said, is Nigeria. We are not even sure how much we are. We know we are very plenty, but as a data professional, plenty is not a value. Plenty is nothing. We are just plenty. And then when we try to have bragging rights, we typically say 200 million, 250 million. We are not just sure. Thank you very much, Orema. That is very, very beautiful. And we really, 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 really appreciate what you have done. Thank you so much. Okay, so the next item on the agenda before we continue is going to be a presentation from myself showing what Analytics Africa is. What Analytics Africa is. I'm sharing my screen one moment, and there we go. So everybody has been asking me, so Tosin, what is Analytics Africa about? And why are you doing this? Well, Analytics Africa is an open association for all things data. It is for everybody who practices analysis as a data analyst, as a data scientist, as a database administrator, as a business intelligence developer, as a big data practitioner, or as a data governance expert, with special focus on Africa. Today, the focus is on Africa from here. Tomorrow, it might expand to the Middle East. Tomorrow, it might become a global thing. But for now, what we are doing is that we are trying to serve the academic, the business, the professional needs of data analytics related careers amongst working class people. Today, what we have is a whole lot of people doing amazing things across the landscape. We have a lot of cohort programs, we have a lot of training activities, we have a lot of investment activities going on. And the good thing about them is that they are increasing the number of data professionals in the society. However, we are still having a major challenge because a lot of people just know that all they need to do is just take a course. They are not sure where it leads them to. Mentorship is there, but it's not adequate. Some people don't even know how to start. Some people are playing with numbers every day. They have a good idea of Excel, and that's where it ends. They cannot even move forward, or they cannot even go higher to be able to do more important things. So we want to create a melting pot. As Africans, one very common word to us is the village square. So we are the village square of data practitioners in Africa. Yes, if you look on the call, most of us who are on the call are Nigerians, and that is very, very obvious because I am Nigerian. But of course, I know that during the registration, I had a lot of registration from South Africa. I think I had a couple from Kenya. At some point, we would launch heavily in those areas as we begin to expand and grow the network. We would launch in North Africa also, and where we have a very strong tech hub, especially in the countries of Egypt and Morocco. So we want to be the village square of data practitioners in Africa. And we know that amongst us, as we begin to do this, we will be the rallying point for data analytics practitioners across the continent of Africa. And we will also serve as a catalyst in establishing ethics and standards in the data analytics profession. It is a tall ambition, but we can get it and we will get there. And we are not going to do it alone. We will do it with your help and with your support. So what is our mission? We want to ensure and promote professional practices and ethical standards. That is talking of things like GDPR or NDPR or data security or data management. Or we also want to help to develop and implement quality training and educational programs with certification in data science and analytics related careers for students, for individual practitioners or professionals, for corporates, for organizations and government bodies. I want to say here, a couple of people have asked me, so when are you starting your cohort programs? For now, we don't plan to run cohorts. We would rather work with people who have done a lot of work in curating courses and putting them together, and then help them get into the courses, help them decide or analyze and synthesize that, okay, if you want to build your career in data and analytics, go for this program at school A or office A, go for that program with IBM, go for this big data program with Amazon, or go for that other program with Microsoft. If you can follow this learning path over the next 2 to 3 months, you will possibly get to that promised land that you're getting to. So we are not planning to be a training school. No, we would rather be the bus stop that directs, or the warden that directs people in the right way for them to be able to take the courses they want to take, or for them to be able to take the programs they want to take. But one thing we will definitely do, even if we are not organizing courses, we will definitely organize conferences. We will definitely organize networking events. We will definitely work to get discounts on programs. We will definitely work to get bring in professionals from anywhere in the world. And when I say anywhere in the world, I mean anywhere in the world, virtually or physically when necessary, to be able to impart and impact on the budding talents that we have in Africa. We also would help to guide and provide business guidance and consulting and advisory for people who are not sure what they want to do, or who are trying to understand the emerging technologies, especially in the areas of machine learning, AI, big data, and of course, networking, which is what we are doing here tonight. We have about 45 people who joined, and we would try to network professionals and passionate students in analytics. And which is passionate for me is telling the story of the African continent, the true story. I'll just put it mildly that way by saying the true story of the African continent with facts and figures. Facts and figures. We are going to run a membership program with time. We are going to have discounts on our courses. We are going to have career growth opportunities. We're going to have discounts on various platforms. We're going to also have access to quality mentorship. And of course, like I mentioned earlier on, the people we are targeting would be professionals in analysis, data science, database administration, business intelligence, big data, and data governance. We would also talk to students who are upcoming. We'll also talk to academics. I'm not sure if I left any other classification out, but those are the major practitioners. And come to think of it, I happen to work with a lot of customers all over the continent and beyond. And one major challenge that they always have is skilled data resources. I've worked with big banks in Nigeria, whose names I cannot mention, who are looking for a database administrator for 3 months. And this is not rocket science. There are many Nigerian youths all over the streets of Lagos looking for jobs. For 3 months, for 6 months, they are looking and crying. They are looking for database administrator. Not 15 years experience, not 25 years experience. Sometimes it's just 2 years experience they need, and they cannot find. And then they may have to pay a more experienced person. And what is the cost of this? Because most people do not really look at data as something very critical that they should learn. A lot of people yesterday are writing software, which is beautiful. A lot of them are doing JavaScript, which is amazing. But there is that untapped field. I have Jennifer Oyelade on the call here. During the plenary session, we would have a conversation about how she struggles. And when I say struggle, she sweats to fill roles in the data space. And this is just because people are not looking at this. Now, I'm not saying do it and get rich. No, I'm saying that this is an overlooked thing. And there is nothing that we do in this world that we do without data. as much as we say our countries in Africa are not as where we would like them to be, they use data for everything, because without data, you cannot have a budget. Without data, you cannot do so many things. So whether they are misappropriating funds, whether they are not doing things appropriately, all these things still fall down to data. Yes, today is the night of data. That's why I'm saying, so it's not like there are not other issues, but a whole lot of stuff starts and ends with data. So moving on, our schedule of events would be starting from next month. We have a lot of email addresses and names of everybody who is present. We would be contacting you. Starting from next month, we would have a monthly meetup, and for now it will be virtual. So, and going forward also, we will begin to launch a couple of initiatives. We will be striking deals with people. We have two major things that are top of mind for us is mentorship. We already have a mentorship platform that is waiting for us just to launch. We also have a learning management system, which is waiting for us just to launch. One thing that we are doing is acquiring trainers, acquiring courses that are relevant to this journey. And these are things that are going to help us grow. So for the next 5 to 6 months, when my team worked on this, they put in some topics, but I have removed those topics so that we would not excite you and then disappoint you. For the next 6 months, we will be meeting on the 13th, 17th, 11th, 19th, and 16th. We've tried to make these days close to either a holiday or something so that you can always have time and be relaxed. Now, about myself, I am Tosin Shobukola. I started my career about 14 years ago as a software developer, and I moved into support engineering work at a university in Nigeria, and then got into IntoSwitch, where I did a lot of more support work, and also was a DBA. I left IntoSwitch as a database administrator and also application development deployment lead about 7 years ago, and I moved into work with Microsoft. And working with Microsoft, I was running around Africa, running around the Middle East and Africa, especially preaching the gospel of data, helping them deploy high availability solutions, giving guidance and advice on how to do a lot of things with data. And that journey was on for the past 7 years. Recently, my focus has moved from Africa primarily to the Middle East and Europe. But of course, I'm still one of the first people that will be called when it comes to matters arising in Africa. And today, I am looking at strategic issues with data, things around data practice adoption, and things around data governance. And we are excited that this is going to continue because we have a lot of initiatives that we discuss every day in my day-to-day work on Microsoft and the technology landscape. However, I will dare say that the fact that I work in Microsoft does not mean that we are going to be pushing Microsoft products on this platform. This is not a means of helping Microsoft sell her products. No, we are going to be technology independent. We are going to be technology independent, or I might try to use that word to be technology agnostic, in the sense that if it is an Amazon solution that works for you to learn whatever you want to learn, we pitch an Amazon solution for you. If it is an IBM solution that works, we pitch an IBM solution for you. If it is Notepad or TextPad that works for you to be able to do whatever you need to do, we pitch it and we recommend it and we mentor you and guide you on how to use that. So that is how it's going to run. And we are working hard to be registered, not only in Nigeria, we are working hard to be registered beyond the shores of Nigeria and Africa, so that we can be able to bring in resources. There are a lot of people who are excited about this opportunity. There are a lot of people who want to do this. And we know that this is going to do a whole lot of good for a whole lot of people. And we know that God helping us, we're going to do a lot of great stuff. Before I continue, because I might not have time to talk about this anymore, I want to say thank you to my team. It's a team of young people. We have Susan, who is one of our content leads, and we have Ugochi. Susan is a banker, strategy, but she's she's like the small version of Oreme. She sleeps and breathes energy. Ugochi is a systems engineer with IntoSwitch. Ugochi is always learning. always learning, always learning. It's either she's learning DevOps, or she's learning product management, or she's learning Linux, or she's learning hardware. She's always learning and always writing exams. And then, of course, we have the men. I have Gamaliel, who is currently doing his MSc in the UK in data and analytics. We have Theophilus, who is a tech consultant at Deloitte. He's a very young man who is very, very innovative, and he's very, very good. He's actually a software developer, but he does so much stuff for us. He's been very, very effective in this event. We also have Ayo, who is a data analyst at FCMB. His title is very deceptive, but what he does is analyzing data. He doesn't even do too much of reports. He plays with data, but on PowerPoint. And I mean, that is another opportunity that people are overlooking. So we have a whole lot of people. We will be sending a lot of mails to you at some point, telling you about all the things that we need. We need a lot of support. We need a lot of help. Our website is up, but again, we need to fix it. It's not in the state that we want it to be. So we had to peg it down and just create some ad hoc pages for tonight's event. And we need a webmaster. We need a content writer, because we are going to be writing content a whole lot. In fact, I promise you, some of the challenges we have with the website is not with setting it up or deploying it. No, most of the problems we have with the website is about content. So if you are a good writer and you have a good sense of youth and exciting writing, even if you're not a technical writer, please reach out to us. We will share some links. Theophilus might be able to help you with the links. He'll drop the links in the chat window. Theophilus or Ugochi or Ayo will drop the links in the chat window. They will drop the links there for you so that you can pick the links up. And you can also, they will drop the link so that you can volunteer in any area of capacity. If you volunteer and we don't reach out to you, we are not ignoring you. It might just be that we are overburdened. And also, if you have ideas for us, please don't drop it in Zoom. You can send us a mail at contact us at analyticsafrica.org, or you can send us a WhatsApp message at 0906 900 0015. 0906 900 0015. We need a lot of help. We need content guys. We need help with digital marketing. Today we sent mails from MailChimp, and most of those mails went into the spam box. We need people who have done this again and again and again and again. And if we're going to go to Africa as fast as possible, we will need a lot of support from digital marketing and a lot of stuff around that area. We also have some people who would like to showcase their skills in terms of demos and in terms of all those kind of things that we have. So we are hoping that if you have an idea, if you have a skill set, or if you have something that you can offer, we would be glad to play with you. Okay, so before we continue, we will take a quick break, and we will have one magic moment. Adewale, are you there? Adewale, who is from DB Brown Consulting, would be able to showcase one of the things that he does every day. He's a Microsoft most valuable player. That means he's an expert, and even Microsoft has said, no, young man, you are good, and they have recognized him. Adewale, are you there?
Hi, Tosin.
Yeah. All right, so you take over sharing now. You can. I hope you can be able to share your screen. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to switch off my video. So the floor is yours. The stage belongs to you. Adewale is just going to give us a 3 to 5 minute demo. Please don't let it be more than 3 or 5 minutes, because it's a long night. We still have a plenary session where people will ask questions and where people will be able to showcase be able to onboarding themselves. And we have some senior people on the call. We don't want to keep these senior people. They are very senior in their businesses. They are very senior in their place of work. We don't take their presence for granted. Thank you, Babafemi. Thank you, Mercy. Thank you, Dr. Nana. Nana is a doctor of machine learning. Thank you, Shola Mushon. And I'll still introduce them furthermore. Thank you so much. So please, Wale, and then we'll come back with some advertisements for some organizations. It is not a paid advertisement. It is just to showcase what some people are doing in the space of data and analytics. So over to you, Wale. Thank you.
Thank you, Tosin. Please, can you give me access to share my screen? I think it's saying
I will give you in a moment. Okay, can you try to share now?
Okay, yeah, sure, I can. All right, good evening, everyone. I was asked to actually show a demo of how to do a simple reporting within 3 to 4 minutes. I hope that's going to be enough, but at least let's just quickly show something. So I'm just basically going to show a demo on the financial data using Power BI, analyzing your financial data using Power BI. And I'm going to do that within 2 to 3 minutes, I guess. So I'm going to show you the data. This is how the data looks like. This is a financial statement data, and I have the dumps of the chart of account here. And I have a small table here that just shows the list of the companies that I have their financial statement. So going into Power BI, this is like doing a short demo from 0 to hero. Let's say 0 to hero in like 3 minutes. So I've already brought the data here. For those that have not used Power BI before, it's just a simple steps. You go to get data, click on Excel. Excel is my source. You tick all your table and you bring your data in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to build just 2 pages of report in just 2 minutes, and then I'm not going to take your time really. So what I need to do, I want to build a small page that just shows me a breakdown of a company just by looking at a snapshot of the page. You want to see a breakdown of any company you want to see. So I'm going to build a small a measure, we call it a calculation, just to have my actual and my budget. That's just what I need. So I'm going to do a calculations that calculate my actual, so which is what I'm writing right now. It's maybe a little bit technical for some people that are not related with Power BI or this analysis, but I'm sure it's something that is very simple. It's not that really hard. It's something you can learn quickly. And that's why I'm trying to do a dashboard in 3 minutes. Those things kind of setting me up right now. All right, so I have my actual, and the second measure I'm just going to write is just to show my plan, which is just, I want to know the plan. I already have my budget data inside this data, so I don't need to look somewhere else. I have it here already. I'm just bringing it in into my report. All right, so that's my plan. That's my plan. So I have my actual and I have my plan, right? So those are the 2 measures I need to create this snapshot for any company that I want to see. So I also have these beautiful visuals that I like using a lot. It's from Zebra BI. They follow International Business Communication Standard. So I'm going to use that visuals to just plot my chart quickly. So the chart I want to plot my line item from my chart of accounts. I also want to plot the group. I would also like to plot my actual versus my plan right here. So, okay, I have something here. Okay, this is looking odd, but just hold on for me. Just finish this. Now, the second one, I would like to plot just the trend. So I want to see the trend of any financials that I have. So I'm going to click on here, actual, and I'm also comparing to my plan. All right. So just to perfect this quickly, just like I said, I'm creating only 1 page of any company snapshot. So just to perfect this, I'm going to just add some slicers to this report. So the first slicer I'm going to add is my report type. So I know the kind of report I'm creating and the kind of financials that I want to see for my 3-statement financial. So I have my report type here, which basically shows a different type of report type that I have, which is my 3 financial statements. I have balance sheet, cash flow, and P&L. So I'm going to click on balance sheet for these. And I'm also going to bring another slicer here that will just show me company. So if I want to see which company am I looking at, I can actually select different companies or different industry and view their financial statements, right? So that is what I'm doing now. All right, so right now I'm just creating a snapshot for a company, and then that's what I'm trying to do. So for people that are just joining us, that's what I'm doing now. And I'm going to add another slicer. So this slicer is just going to be my group. All right, so my group, I can make it a horizontal slicer just so that it's well aligned. And I'm putting it here. right? So switch off the slides like that. And basically, I'm kind of done with the report I want to create. So if you look at this report right now, this report is basically showing me a snapshot of a company to say, okay, I want to look at how this company is doing in terms of their operating expense. So I'm sure the people that are into financial will understand this very well. So I want to see how a company is doing in terms of their operating expense. So I come here and I pick a company, and then the operating expense, I'm looking at the trend of their operating expense. So this my year, I need to sort it so I can really see the trend very well. So I'm looking at the trend of my operating expense to see from 2015 up to 2020, how have we been doing compared to our plan, which is our budget, right? And you can see the way we are doing. You can see the absolute reference, absolute changes here, right? Absolute reference and the relative reference here to see the percentage change as well. Also right here, I can see the breakdown of my operating expense. These are the line item I have in my operating expense, and I can see the change versus my plan as well. So if I click my operating income as well, I can see the breakdown of my operating income compared to the different line items I have in operating income. And this is it here. If I also want to look at my balance sheet, I can simply just come here and just click my drop down, select balance sheet, and then these are the line item under my balance sheet: asset, equity, and liability. So right here, I can see the breakdown of everything that I need. I will have just shown you more than this, but due to my 3-minute time, this is the magic I can show in 3 minutes. Thank you, Tosin. I hope I didn't bore my audience.
Thank you very much. I thought you wanted to show us 2 pages. Thank you very much. Let's go to the second page.
All right. So the second page, I'm just going to just do a small report that just show my balance sheet, all these three financial statement snapshot as well. So in terms of table. So I'm going to bring a table here, and this table that I'm bringing here, I'm just basically going to put something inside. It's just one big table. And this big table, what am I putting inside? I'm putting my group here, I'm putting my line items here, and I'm also comparing this my actual versus my plan to see how I'm doing comparing to my budget. When I say budget, when I say plan, I actually mean budget. That's it here. And I'm just going to add some slicers as well, just like the same slicers I have here to see the 3 statements that I have. And that's basically my report type to see what do I want to look at. Do you want to look like balance sheet? Do you want to look at P&L, or you want to look at cash flow? So right now I can say I want to look at my balance sheet. So balance sheet typically shows my assets, my liability, and my equity. And looking at this simple table, I can see that this is my actual and this is my plan. I can see my change to plan if I'm actually meeting my budget and if I'm not meeting up to my budget. And I can also see the percentage in terms of a change. And another thing I can do maybe to add a dynamic title to this. So whenever I'm selecting anything, it's just going to be giving me a title, or I can also add a company if I feel like, so I can see and select different financials for different company. So company 1, I can still see their financials. Company 2, I can see their financials. I want to look at the P&L. I can see the breakdown of their operating expense and operating income for P&L. And I can also view my cash flow as well. So this is a typical snapshot of any balance sheet you want to look like in any company. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we give him a virtual round of applause? Can we give him a virtual round of applause? Can we give him a virtual round of applause? Can we give him a virtual round of applause? Thank you so much, Adewale. Adewale he's just awesome when it comes to Power BI and also the Power Platform. Okay, I'm going to now share my screen again. And in this moment, we have a couple of organizations. Like I said, it's networking and it's also showcasing what people are doing in the space of data analytics. I'm going to share my screen in 1 minute, and you will be seeing a video of Initium Analytics. We have about 3 or 4 companies. I hope we can get to all of them. It's free adverts. I hope we can get to all of them. It's free adverts just to showcase what they are doing. So Initium is a consulting company. You may not be able to hear the sound. I'll work to see if you can get the sound, but if you don't get the sound, at least you can read and watch what they do. Thank you. Okay. Okay, the next one will be Wentors. You may not be able to hear what they are playing for many reasons, especially because I'm using an headset, so you cannot hear. But Wentors is a company that believes in empowering women in tech. They believe in empowering women that work in tech. And they have empowered over 2,000 women all over the world. They are not focused in Africa alone. They are a global company. They run a training cohort. And then, of course, they want to touch the lives of 8 million women by 2030. Excuse me. So that is Wentors for you. And then the next one we have would be Utiva. Utiva is a popular player. Utiva is a popular player in the industry. They have mentored a whole lot of people. I'm not sure if the Utiva one is good because they just talked. They didn't do a lot of visuals. Okay, let's see. There's another startup. It's a young school. Okay, I think they changed it afterwards. So it's a startup school, and they are doing a whole lot of stuff. They are doing a whole lot of stuff in the line of training. They have a very, 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 you see, I said very 5 times. They have a very affordable training program. And that training program is very, very comprehensive because it teaches you to do a whole lot of stuff, left, right, and center. Yeah, so yes, they have about 7 modules and they are doing a whole lot of stuff. We would upload their videos on our YouTube channel. We'll upload their videos on our YouTube channel, and you can check them out, and you can be able to contact them, and every one of these presentations will be uploaded to our portal. Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of this short break. Okay, thank you. Now we move on to the next item in the agenda, which is the plenary session. My colleagues here have done a whole lot of work. So we would be bringing in Babafemi. I'm going to show you their profiles again. Babafemi is please let me know when you see my screen. So we have 5 people on the panel. I'm not sure if Mariam is around still. She had a meeting that she had to attend, so she just popped in to deliver her keynote and she's left. So we will have Babafemi, who is the lead of that session. He's the most senior person on that team, most experienced. Babafemi Ogungbamila is a technology expert with strong technology capabilities over 18 years. I would say that is about 20 years. This was probably from an old document. Over 20 years of core experience spanning IT infrastructure, software, and application development in fintech. I remember when I resumed at IntoSwitch in the year 2009, they said our team lead is a legend. And I promise you, I worked with him for 6 years, less 3 months. I was always enthralled by the way he was able to learn. And Babafemi is an avid learner. He's always learning. Babafemi is the kind of person that will not just tell you to go and do something. He's also reading what he told you to go and do. And then he will step down from his high throne of leadership and literally sit on the floor in the dust with you, troubleshooting, discovering. Not that he was micromanaging, no, he's just a learner and he's a reader. He's not the kind of person that wants to hear, no. He's an excellent communicator. He wants to read what is written. He wants to study what is written, and he wants to communicate his thoughts in writing very, very deeply. He started as a software developer at InterSwitch, and he has grown to become the most senior person in technology in that organization. He's been the CIO since 2013. I used to call him the Otumba of DM, the Otumba of technology. And he's a very great guy. He has been able to transition from being a software developer to be somebody who is leading and building a tier 3 data center at InterSwitch. So let's welcome Babafemi formally. He has a degree of engineering from OAU, and also he has an SMP degree certificate from the Atlantic University, which is the Lagos Business School, Lagos. So let's welcome Babafemi. We can give a virtual round of applause, or you can just say some nice things about him in the chat window. Babafemi, you're welcome. Can you switch on your video so we can appreciate you?
Thank you, Tosin.
Yeah, thank you.
I almost did not recognize myself.
Sorry?
So I almost did not recognize myself.
Oh, really? You didn't believe it was you we were talking about? These things happen, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is a work colleague turned friend. We've not worked together, but we have worked together. We've had a lot of long discussions and we just hit it together. She's a young at heart senior business leader, and she's the talent acquisition director of Transquisite Consulting. Transquisite Consulting is her business, which she has been running. She has consulted for a lot of organizations. She's a globetrotter. That's a simple way to put it. So as we speak, even though she's based in the UK, she's currently on the road. She's traveled to somewhere in Europe towards Russia. She's not in Russia, but towards Russia, towards the Middle East. And she jumped off a flight, checked into her hotel, and she's not even settled, and she's already on this call. She has consulted for organizations in Dubai, in the Middle East. She has consulted for organizations in China and all over the world. She is the person who has done a lot of stuff around technology and still doing lots for us. And recently she won an award for the, I think, is it the 35 or 100 most influential people in Africa in HR. She's not loud, but she's good and she's strong. I remember she was trying to headhunt me some time ago, and one of her services as a headhunter was to rebuild my CV. I build CVs for people, but it's humbling to see somebody building my CV for me, and she did that for free. Welcome, Jennifer. Can you switch on your video? I hope you're in your Wednesday best. Let's see you. Welcome, Jennifer.
I am, well, I call it Wednesday best, but I'm here.
Yes, welcome, Jennifer. Thank you very much. Yeah, can you have your video on? Is it on? I'm not sure if I can see it. If it is, thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. The next person is Shola Amushon. Shola is a multifaceted individual. He is like a cherubim, like when they have 6 faces, he has like multiple faces. He's a very young man, and he has been doing a lot of things since his tender age. Permit my words. He started doing things as a member of the World Economic Forum as a student, and then he won a lot of awards. In 2018, he started an organization called Coven Works, which trains people on AI, machine learning, and a whole lot of stuff. He has also been able to build organizations both in Nigeria and in the US, and he has been able to launch a lot of people into careers. I couldn't play his video because it is a sound-based video and you will not appreciate it, but the sound storyline in the video was about a lady who started from nothing, and today she's an AI, not even Excel, machine learning and AI, like the strange rocket science of data part That is what the girl is doing. The lady, let me say the lady, she's a very young lady. I'll upload it on our portal, on our SharePoint, not SharePoint, sorry, on our YouTube, where you'll be able to check it. And he's done a lot of stuff in terms of government relations. He's done a lot of stuff in terms of corporate citizenship, a lot of stuff in terms of corporate philanthropies. And today he currently sits in Texas, and he also runs another payment company that helps Nigerians to pay for relocation services all over the world. And I think they just got accepted into an incubator a few days ago, or if not this afternoon. I know over the weekend he was at MIT at a conference, and a few hours ago, they just got accepted into this Techstars 2022 cohort for the incubator. So Techstars is like your Y Combinator for those who play in the startup space. Shola, can we see your face? You're welcome. Hi, Shola. Thank you so much. He's been traveling over the past few days, and he still made time to be here. Thank you so, so much. The next person, I don't know why I'm surrounded with energetic ladies. This lady is Mercy George Igbafe. I call her MGI. When I call her MGI, it makes me think of a rocket launcher. Mercy is energy unparalleled. Mercy is energy unparalleled. She's a self-trained IT professional. She was a banker. She left the bank, trained herself on a couple of technologies from data analysis to agile, and she has built an organization from scratch with sweat and everything in her. And she has run a whole lot of stuff for people, where she runs a cohort of 8 weeks that trains. She's like a computer science cohort that she runs in 8 weeks. So some people will typically just run a data cohort, or they'll run a business analysis cohort, but in her own cohort, she prepares you for the marketplace. She's also building an organization that outsources people to companies, whereby she will train them and then they will be outsourced to companies after they have gone through her comprehensive cohort. She's young at heart. She's a tech enthusiast. She has also been able to build herself to win a lot of initiatives, a lot of grants like the Tony Elumelu one. She's currently in another one sponsored by Access Bank and another one by a global one. And she is energy. She's also a convener of Women in Agile Africa, a conference. And she's also a grammarian. Mercy can blow grammar. That's just how to put it. She's a Toastmaster. So Toastmasters are the MCs and things like that. She's also one of their big people in Lagos. Welcome, Mercy. Are you there, Mercy? Say hello, Mercy.
Hi, Tosi.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, Mercy. And last but not the least, this is Dr. Nana Kalu. Not Nana Kalu, Dr. Nana Orieke. Nana is a young man who started his career many years ago and has worked in various environments. He used to work in telecoms. He's an Igbo man with a very, very good understanding of Lagos. He knows Lagos like the back of his hand because he started his career managing base stations for Globacom Technologies. But based on that conversation, I remember he told me that when he was at Glo, he had a lot of time on his hands. So what did he do? He used it judiciously. And how did he use it judiciously? He got a master's and he got a PhD. I say people like Nana are strong men. When you do 3 engineering or science degrees in Nigeria, you deserve a medal. You just need to, your shoulder pad needs to be very, very, very high. You are a strong man. He holds a PhD in artificial intelligence from the University of Lagos. He got his first class honors degree in electrical electronics engineering from FUTO, and he's married with kids. Of course, all other facilitators are married with kids. None of them has less than 1 kid. I think the minimum is 2. So all of them have 2, 3 kids. So Dr. Nana, as we call him, sometimes in the office, we call him Dr. Machine Learning. Nana is good, but he never makes you feel inadequate beside him. He's quiet, he's unassuming, always smiling and ready to help. So thank you, everyone. Can we all turn our videos on, and panelists? I hope Zoom will allow us to be able to see the panelists. Yes, I think this is it. I'm not so used to Zoom, but I hope this works. Lady MGI, can you turn on your video? Nana, can you turn on your video? Thank you. I know there will be a feature that allows me to pin people, but I don't want to mess things up. So let's get started.
If you stop the sharing the screen, then you'll be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to take that risk. I don't want to. I've had enough issues tonight. Please permit me. I would behave as if I don't know
just stop
technology.
sharing, then you'll be able to see us at a glance. That's what I'm saying.
I can see you at a glance.
No, you can't.
See all of.
So the PowerPoint presentation takes over. We're very, how do I speak it? You have to stop sharing if you want to have a panel conversation. It's much more effective in Zoom that way.
Okay. How about now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So welcome everyone to this conversation that we are having today. It's really, really exciting to meet you all and to have you here today. So we will be discussing on the state of data in Africa. I would start from Babafemi. You have seen a whole lot of stuff with data, and especially in Africa. I think InduSwitch is in about 4 countries as we speak, right? Or more. You're in Nigeria, you're in Kenya, you are in Uganda. I know you are in Gambia, and you're doing stuff all over Africa anyway, whichever way in where you are. So what has been some of the challenges that you have seen, or what has been the impact of data to you as InduSwitch or as an engineer who is looking at people's data, the way people do transactions, the way people spend, the way people live? What can you tell us what data has done for you or how it has helped you? We cannot hear you, sir. You're muted.
So I think for one, thank you so much, Tosin, for that question. I think for one, one of the things that has been but has been interesting for me to see is how how we, in a sense, misunderstand what it's all about, right? And how to approach data, so to speak. And I think I've been through a lot of situations where we continue to ask ourselves or tell ourselves that we don't have data, we don't have data, we don't have data. And it's always very interesting to kind of come back to say, you know, you cannot be processing millions of transactions. You cannot be, you know, interacting with, you know, that many customers on a daily basis and still not have data, all right? So what I've seen is that a lot of those questions around not having data is really around not knowing, not having a clear view of what you actually want to get out of the data. There's data everywhere. It's just figuring out how to collect it is what I've seen. And because that skill, that knowledge, that understanding of how to collect it, how to kind of clean it up, how to make it, you know, usable, is not as that skill is not as commonplace as you would expect. You then begin to get in situations where you might also be tempted to assume that the data does not exist at all, right? So those are the things that we have seen. And I think for us, what we are beginning to see and what we are learning is that, yes, you might have a lot of data, you might have a little bit of it, but really managing it, you know, building processes and building governance around it is probably one of the biggest challenges that you would face, right? You know, next to having the right talent to be able to work with the thing. On our part, it's done us a lot of good. Again, we have a very huge operation across, like I said, in Nigeria, huge operations in Kenya and Uganda. We have an operation in Gambia as well. And what it allows us to do is to be a more data-driven organization, right? A lot of decisions that we take today are kind of rooted within data, and we've been doing that for a very long time. It's hard to get to a place, or it's hard to come to a decision on something without having data to back it up, right? decision, every strategic move comes from the data that we see that we process and the data that we don't even process, that we have, that we go out to collect, and then use to kind of take some of those decisions. So I think for us, we've kind of learned a lot around how to manage the volume that we get, and then also have to ask the right questions and use those things and use what we find to take decisions going forward. That's what we've seen, and that's how that's impacted us. Thank you.
Thank you, Babafemi. I like the fact that you said data has driven a lot of progress in the business for InterSwitch as an organization. I think I'll just throw that line. Mercy, you run a startup, and your startup is a training and also marketing driven startup, because your programs are primarily virtual, and you get a lot of people that you don't know to come into your school, and you turn them from zero to hero. Can you tell us the challenges you've had and the things you've done with respect to data? Merci. Merci.
Hi, like Babafemi rightly said, data is everywhere. I just took a look at the insight of Lentor's Facebook page. In the last 1 year, we have hit 1.6 million traffic to just one of our social channels. That's a lot of data. Now, the key challenge that I've realized that a lot of people do not know how to make use of the data. We have recorded on our program consistently. We recorded 80% of people that enroll on Lentor's cohort, BE data, and today I can see as a result of Lentor's training, we have helped over 15 people secure their, Microsoft, become a Microsoft certified trainers. Data is everywhere. The greatest thing that we are all trying to fix in Africa is to break the silos, try to work together, leveraging the number. Nigeria sits on data, day in, day out. The real question, like the keynote speaker said earlier, is much attention is not paid where is necessary. A shocking data, or is a beautiful one, just December last year, Africa has received over 5.2 billion. I'm not talking about this year at all. Investment in Africa is because the West knows there's data here. And our program is to educate, is to inform, is to get people to start understanding this is the space that we all need to leverage on. This is the space. This is the space. Okay, I was spotlighted. I was wondering. Okay, that this is the space that we all need to learn. Many people are still just exploring opportunities in tech. We have our 5th cohort running right now. And I'll tell you this much, many of the people that are new to the program have not heard, somebody's unmuted, I've not heard about data. Hello, Tosin, somebody's unmuted.
Yeah, I'll try to find the person out. Please continue.
Okay. I've not heard about data analytics. They do not even understand. As basic as my as SQL language is, many people don't even know what to do. So there's a disconnect in terms of our population, in terms of the knowledge gap, in terms of educating our people. So it's important that people start to leverage on the data they have. On social media, who are the people following you? How can you convert them to your customers? What can you do? What are the people learning? In our cohort, like you said, people coming from no tech experience, no background at all in tech.
Working in Microsoft. Okay, they interviewed Microsoft people. No, it's not interviewed them.
Please let's mute
Hi.
ourselves. Let's mute ourselves. If you're not talking, please let's mute ourselves. Let's just have the panelists alone talking. Thank you. Please continue, Mercy.
I just people are members.
Mercy, please continue.
I think you can mute. I think you can mute everyone as the host.
Yes. Yes, I'll do that. I'll do that. All right, please continue, Mercy.
Okay. I've lost my line of thought. It's very distracting, but it's what it is.
Apologies. Thank you very much.
It's okay. Basically,
sorry
data
about that.
is everywhere. Data is everywhere. Data is around us.
So let me try this again now.
Lucy, can you mute Morenike, please?
Okay.
I don't think she's aware she's unmuted. Morenike, just mute her. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mercy. Thank you very much, Mercy. Like you have said, there's a huge knowledge gap. There's a huge gap in the industry. Jennifer, can you care to tell us basically how this has translated into challenges for you? As a HR person, typically, you're just meant to get a HR person who is focused on recruitment. One of the primary things you do is recruitment. You're just meant to get a brief, find people, get your money, and go home. But I don't think that is your story, is it?
Definitely not. I don't believe in the, just find people, get money. I believe more in about value and how people add value, not just to themselves as professionals, but how they add value to the organization in which they work in. So in terms of data, just echoing what everybody has said, and it's important and it's relevant and it's integral part in the way our world functions today. I believe from a HR perspective, data is, it's being used from a people analytics and, trying to understand how people work and operate and think in terms of high attrition rates, low attrition rates, and things like that. But I feel that data is a lot bigger than that. And I think people need to understand how the part it plays, not just in professionals, but in the business world. So, for example, from a marketing perspective, from a business development strategy perspective, a lot of the clients that I work with now look at data as more of an added value rather than a standalone skill set, which I, in my own way, I've been promoting the need for every professional, regardless of your specialism, to embody data into your specialism. So whether you're in finance, whether you're in HR, whether you're in IT, hospitality, data is the foundation of the business, the key business decisions that leaders make in terms of how, even how to work efficiently, how to work effectively. Data is something that, is the rock and the foundation that differentiates one professional to another. So in the likes of, the kind of challenges we face as consultants is more of the problematic thinking. So how do you use data in order to process, in order to think, to work effectively? That is very, very minimal in the workplace. And
thank you very much.
It's something that, it really does need to be highlighted on. And that's why, Analytics Africa is a very good initiative, because I don't believe people understand its true power and how it can affect them in terms of salary, in terms of career progression, and basically how to just leverage on that for future development.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you. So you are pitching and suggesting and recommending that regardless of what your profession is, you should be able to add a component of data to it. Add a component of data. Thank you so much. Dr. Nana, you specialize in a very, very, very rare area of data and analytics, which is machine learning and artificial intelligence and big data. Would you be able to tell us how does this present new opportunities, or how does this prefer business verticals? Because the typical knowledge or image of everybody is that robots, Robocop, Terminator, shooting guns, playing games, and manufacturing cars. Pretty much that's what data artificial intelligence or driverless cars or whatever. What is the perspective in your experience? How does the rare skill that you have, how does it tie into data? And how does it impact our daily lives? Do you care to share?
Yes, and thank you very much for that question, Tosin. I would like to share with my own personal experience. You had already highlighted that everything I did was in Africa, in Nigeria, to be specific, and having gained this knowledge, which in a way, a whole lot of people get to limit given our environment, our unique environment. But having gone through that stressful process, I would like to share my experience, and I believe a whole lot of you will also get a lot of inspiration through it. I want to say that it wasn't an intentional act for me to have a PhD in artificial intelligence. It was really in the course of me looking for a solution to a problem that I stumbled into artificial intelligence. And so, and the reason why I'm saying this is that we've had a whole lot today about data is the new oil, is the new gold, is everything to all the things that we're currently doing, and it is very true. I must reiterate that. But the beginning to everything is really the problem we're trying to solve. So in my own case, I was looking at solving a problem in the health industry, which was around helping type 1 diabetic patients. And in my mind then, and that was when I started my PhD, 2012, 2013, I was looking at creating something spectacular, an instrument that you could use to measure your blood glucose level. And I was really thinking out of the world. And I met my supervisor then to say, I really want to do this work, and I really want to create this tool that nobody has ever used before, and I really want to go into the analysis. And then he said, well, with the technology we have around here, it might take you a lot, you will do it, I know, but it will take you a long time. Why don't you think of another solution to solving it? Maybe try to use the data we have to solve it. And that was what led me into looking at AI as a means of solving the problem that we had in Africa, in Nigeria to be specific. And this is just to reiterate the fact that once you find the problem that you want to solve, there will always be something around data to solving it. If the data does not exist, then it creates another opportunity for you to go acquire that data. So from the ideation of the solution to the actualization is a lot of value creation. So I'm emphasizing this to saying that in a very from all lens and view of the problem we currently face within Africa, and I really like the work by the keynote speaker around the huge opportunity we have, and with the population, the huge opportunity we have, with the population size we have, I see lots of opportunities for us to look for problems and then use AI to solve it. So to your question, Justin, AI has really helped me in a whole lot of ways to solving that problem in type 1 diabetic patient within Nigeria, and also in getting the opportunities I have in Microsoft and even further. There are tons of opportunities. Your autonomous machines, your speech translation, or any of the wonderful AI solutions you have today are just like tip of the iceberg. We have myriads of problems in Africa today, in Nigeria to be specific, that you use data to solving the problem. So AI, let's not see AI as this wonderful, this robotics that is sitting out there in the sky. It is you really using data to solving your problem. That's what artificial intelligence is.
Thank you very much,
I would
Nana.
like to end on that note.
Thank you very much, Nana. Again, thank you so much. I'll come back to you, Shola. Shola, you are running a payment startup, and you've also trained a lot of people in data and analytics. Is Shola still there? Hello, Shola, are you there? No, he's not. Okay, I think he dropped off.
Tosin,
Yeah.
you want to pin yourself and the other panelists.
Well, I dropped off. Yes. Okay. So in payments, Babafemi, we want to ask you again. Do you want to tell us how in payments? Yes, please.
Messi is trying to get our attention.
Okay.
You need to pin yourself because you're out of the video. Pin yourself to spotlight yourself and the other panelists.
Okay, thank you. How about now?
Okay, you've replaced everyone else. Do you want to give me control? Give me a co-host so I can support you.
No problem. I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Go on.
Listen, don't worry.
So,
we don't like
you get. So, okay. So, like I said, Babafemi, so in terms of our day-to-day lives, how, or based on from where you sit, running into Switch, a unicorn and all those kind of stuff, what are the business verticals that you see data and analytics giving us? What are the opportunities and verticals that you see, new vistas that are opening? Like you said during your introduction, you said data is new oil. Before it was software, but now everybody sees it is data. So what are you seeing in data that is different from what we have seen in the past? Or what new opportunities are coming up with data? Are you there?
Yes, I am. Thanks, Tosin. I think the first things first is that with data, you now have a new set of jobs, right? A new set of opportunities for people to kind of get into employment, and I think that is a good thing, right? In as much as we say AI is going to reduce the amount of labor that you eventually need, at the same time, it's also creating more opportunities to do more interesting work, because again, you need people to program those things as well. So one of the things we are seeing very clearly is that there's so much more roles out there that can relate to data. So we have the data scientist roles, we have data engineer roles, we have data ops roles, and the interesting thing about it is that not everybody understands quite fully the difference between these roles, right? I recall I had done I reached out on Twitter to get some candidates for a data engineering role. Like almost everybody that reached out to me, a huge percentage of people that reached out to me were data scientists. They didn't care. But again, at the same time, what it meant was that there's a lot of interest. There are lots of people that are going through a lot of training, that kind of helps them grow in data roles now. So I think that's probably the first opportunity that you see. Then the second opportunity is that because data is data is required for every single business, and I think in the keynotes, Orome was talking about government. There is there's manufacturing, there's oil and gas, there's of course financial services, there's education. Data is required everywhere. It kind of then provides a brand new opportunity for a new set of organizations, so a new set of consultants to go into these companies to help them, figure out their data, right? So that's a major opportunity as well. And I think a lot of, and I think some of the people that have provided, some of the demos that we are seeing today are already doing things like that. So that's going to happen and not going to stop. Why? Because the skills that you need to create the kind of magic that you need to create with data is not something that you can get easily. So there will be people that will be far ahead of the rest of us that can provide those kind of services to organizations. So that's the second thing that I see.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right. That's fine.
Yeah. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. So one other thing, I think this is probably the last one, is that what you then begin to see is that a time will come when, now or I mean, now you can very quickly say that every company would eventually have to be a technology company, right? Because if you don't transform, you'll probably not survive, right? Because again, you just not be able to grow like your counterpart, and you generally have that challenge. Now, what's going to happen next is that every company has to be an AI company, right? Because companies that are able to embed AI in their operations or leverage AI are going to move faster, so much faster than technology companies of today, right? And are going to leave them behind as well. So there's this actually quite fundamental, because it then changes how we see ourselves as organizations as well. Because if you don't get on that bandwagon now, begin to get the skills or get the learning and begin to structure organizations in a way to harness data, you might find yourself left behind in the economy as well.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Papa Femi. That's a very beautiful missive that you've given us there. Okay, so Jennifer, I like two things that you've said before I go to Jennifer. So you have said that Jennifer mentioned initially that everybody should add data to their skill set, and you have proposed that everybody should add AI to their organizational operations. Before I come to you, Jennifer, a couple of quick announcements. We have, if you go to analyticsafrica.org, you would see the link for you to nominate if a person to support the organization or to volunteer. You'll also see the link to be able to do a lot of things that we have said, to contact us, to nominate yourself as a volunteer, to do a whole lot of stuff over there. And also, lastly, because we are running over 2 hours, if you have any questions for the panelists, please ask in the chat window. I'm monitoring it, or so ask in the chat window. Shola joined. We had an issue with Zoom earlier on, so Shola was using the old link. Welcome, Shola, and congrats on your Techstars appointment. So if you have any questions for any of the panelists, just please ask them to just ask so that we can be able to push it to them. I want to round up in the next 10 minutes so that we can all go to bed. Tomorrow is still a work day before the long weekend. So Jennifer, back to you. So from your experience, I know we don't use data in Africa as much. You've seen the Middle East, you've seen the UK, you've seen the Far East. What, in addition to recommending that everybody should add data to their skill set, in terms of career, in terms of knowledge, in terms of viability, as either in terms of education, what recommendations do you have, or what propositions do you have?
So what I would say is, I think from a data perspective, I think more general, because not everybody is, has that kind of, that tech type of, then not everybody is technically inclined. But I believe with data, you don't have to dig so deep to become really technical to be able to use data to be efficient. So I would look at, like you've mentioned, Utivia, and look at various kind of courses that allows you to understand data for your skill set or for your profession. So for example, within finance, some people may use things like SQL or, BI, things that you can actually implement all around so that it will just kind of develop your skill set stronger rather than on a medium level. So I would say certifications would, from a hiring perspective, would go really well. That will complement any skill set, because just like data, just like finance, you can find in every sector, and IT you can find in every sector, data is exactly the same. So I would say people should invest in basic understanding of data, even if you're not so technical, to enhance what you already know rather than step away completely from your core.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. Thank you very much. Welcome, Shola. Shola, very quickly, we're about rounding up, but you can give us a thought or two. You've done philanthropies. When we talk of philanthropies in corporates, this is when corporate organizations, corporate service responsibility, CSR. You've done a lot in CSR. And at the same time, you've also done a couple of stuff with startups. And in your recent startup, you chose not to do what everybody was doing. Everybody was doing fintech. Everybody was doing POS, that is financial inclusion. Based on your hindsight or based on your antecedents as a CSR corporate philanthropies person, how did that now help you to go to launch Vesti, which is focused on helping people get admissions? You're not an admissions company. At the same time, you are helping people make payments for admissions. You are helping people make payments for migrations. I guess you didn't come to this realization in a vision or in a dream. It was data-driven. Can you tell us how you got here? You are muted.
Hi everybody. I'm so sorry about this. I was ready at 3:45, which is my own time zone here, and I joined, but I couldn't get in. I didn't realize.
It was my fault, Shola. Never mind. It was my fault.
Apologies for that. Yeah, no, it's all right. So first, I believe that before you start anything, even as a founder, you want to look at the trends and the data. When I started CovenWorks in 2018, I was just about 4 years at Microsoft, and I was going to be leaving in about a year. So I basically stumbled at a research by Gartner that said that there will be need for about 1.5 million data scientists by the year 2023. In a certain economy, I saw that Boeing had just gone to pay for all the data scientists studying in University of Washington from year 1 to year 4, so that once they graduate, they would just join Boeing. So I saw that this would be a big deal, and this year was 2018. So I created an education company that focused on data and AI, with the goal to be able to raise about 100 million people over the next couple of, let's say, next decades or something like that, because that's a field that would definitely be in demand. So CovenWorks today was what I did for the last 4 years, and in 2022 I decided to exit and create a new company called Vesti. Now, in the same way, just to go to Tosin's question, I decided to look at data. What is the data saying? Between 1975 and now, you can see clearly that their migration has tripled. There are 272 migrants living everywhere else around the world other than the country where they were born, and that number is going to move to 1 billion by the year 2050. 1 million people enter the US every year. All these guys, they have to do financial transactions. So we created a company that can capture them end to end, whether they're in transit or they settled in the new country, and help them solve those cumbersome payment issues. As part of our acquisition pipeline, we have to advise people on migration as well. So if there's anyone on this call who is trying to move abroad and you don't want to be duped, we have a lot of pathways on our mobile app that can guide you, and a process that has helped over 400 families to move already. So basically, you're right. I don't do anything except I can see the stats, the numbers, what's going to happen. Please check out the work CovenWorks is doing online at covenworks.com. We're basically one of the most impressive AI and education programs in the country, and we've developed our curriculum in partnership with Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. We've been backed by companies in the UK and a number of other companies, and we designed very key, clear programs that help people to not just transition to tech, but also be able to make double digits, triple, multiples of their current salaries, either in their current jobs or in new employments entirely. So we're very outcomes driven, and we're focused on data and AI. We've had a lot of temptation to do product development, do this, do that, but we stick to what we're very strong at, and maybe we'll do product development as it relates to AI in the near future. That's the same company that I filed under that brought me to the US. It was my startup, so in case you have not heard that before, you can basically create a startup, found it in another country, and use it as a basis for you to move to that country. So I started the same program in the US, and it has remarkable benefits for people that look like me. That's those who have moved to the US, but they are working in warehouses, and we've been able to take people from warehouses to the boardroom with data and AI. So basically, that's the company I'm exiting to start Vesti, and you definitely need to check out Vesti. We're a Techstars 2022 company, and we're doing remarkably well. So thanks everybody for that opportunity. I know that your time is already well spent, and I wish I had more time on the call with all of you. All the best, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shola. Thank you, everyone. So in closing, I think we have, it's been a time well spent. Do we have any closing comments? I'm going to run around the room. Ladies first. Jennifer, do you have any closing thoughts? Mercy, do you have any closing thoughts? People? No closing thoughts?
I would like to, hello?
Yes, please.
I would like to just say to everyone that has joined, this is just a journey. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's the beginning of the conversation. I've had the honor of meeting people in this event, and I want to say thank you, Tosi, for moderating and bringing us together. We can change Africa collectively if we so desire. Nobody's going to change Africa for us. We have the data, we have the numbers, we have the brain, we have the talent. The world is waiting for us to manifest ourselves, to tell our story ourselves, not from anybody's perspective. So if you'd like to connect, I'm on LinkedIn. I've dropped my LinkedIn connection there. I look forward to connecting with everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. A question came in very recently, but unfortunately, we are really pressed for time. This is around 9 p.m. in Nigeria, and we have a lot of people in different time zones. Jennifer has been running all day. Shola too. Babafemi has a lot on his plate. Please permit me. I will try to find a solution to your question, Dapo Shuriola. How do we help people from running out of Nigeria, as it were? They get the skill and they run away. We can have that conversation offline. Jennifer, your final thoughts?
Yeah, so it was a very interesting session. Just to kind of echo what Mercy said, it's a journey. We're glad that we're really on this journey. I just believe if everyone can, dedicate to the journey, I feel that as we've said, Africa, there's a lot of things going on in Africa. We need to bridge the gap in between, the skills gap between, entry level, medium, senior level. We need to bridge the gap in the employment space. And I believe data is that gap that can bridge, using data to effectively drive business revenue, to create visibility for brands, whether it's in marketing, finance. And I feel that this is the right place to do so. We all have our own various specialisms, and we can incorporate data to make factual decisions, not just for the business, but for the economy as a whole.
Thank you very much. Dr. Nana, final thoughts?
Yeah, so I really want to commend you for the work you're doing, getting this awareness. And my final thoughts would be that I would like to translate an adage in my language that says that the firewood in a village cook their food. So, and this is just to say.
Can you come again, please?
That we have.
Can you repeat that? Okay. We lost you.
Okay, so I said that the firewood in a village cooks their food. So it's just an adage that says that we are self-sufficient and we have all it takes to solve our problems. And to the question that was just asked around how do you keep everyone within stop people from migrating with the skills that they have. The truth is, the idea is not to stop people, but to solve problems within our location. And the way you can solve it is by finding the problem and then looking for a solution. And that will keep us here if we start solving the problems that exist within our industry. I know it's not very palatable, but the truth is, once we take a step forward, we will most likely get to the destination that we are looking at. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Shola, final words. Shola, final words.
I don't know if I'm muted. Trying to find.
You are not.
I'm not. Okay, so people can hear me. Awesome. So yeah, my final words would be that continue to use like trends and forecasting to tell where the opportunities will be. Like, don't just be a career person that is, or a professional, a practitioner. Even for data school owners here or data practitioners here, don't just do that thing that IT people do, which is pile on new certifications in their fields and all of that. Find out you could actually be sitting in an industry that will soon be replaced entirely. Someone wrote a doomsday article some time ago about how data scientists won't be relevant anymore by 2030, like in just 10 years. And I'm like, hey, come on, please. It's a doomsday article, but he gave me some kind of insight into the fact that what the person was really saying is that by the time like automation gets to a certain point, even our work as data scientists or data analysts might be replaced by machines. So we have to be open to that possibility and continue to improve ourselves, not just within our space, but we must be ready to like check what is really the next thing. For those who are still young, you probably have a 30-40 year working career in front of you. So if you do, like, what would you possibly be doing in 20 years when a lot of things have been automated? So I'm saying take it a notch higher, aside from just improving within your space, like also consider what the trends are saying about what will happen eventually.
Thank you very much, Dapo. Very appreciated. And thank you very much, Shola. Well appreciated. We started with you, Babafemi. I think it just makes sense to close with you. Final words, advice. I think you're one of the most tenured people in the room. So what advice are you going to give, and what recommendations are you going to give us? Final thoughts?
All right. I think, so I just say again that, all the great things, that interesting things that data can do kind of is around us. Take, for example, simple things like you see on social media, where you have recommendations coming to you about things that you're probably just even thinking about or discussing with someone. It's quite creepy, actually, some extent. These days, before I leave to go anywhere, I jump on Google Maps just to get a sense for what traffic is. It's not as if I don't know where I'm going or how to get there, but I just want to know where traffic is, right? So all these are applications of data and analytics. And you can see so many other examples around us. So I'd just like to encourage us to continue to stay inspired by all the examples that we find and all the good things that we see that have been done through data analytics and artificial intelligence, and to stay learning. So that's how we get there. Thank you.
Stay learning, think ahead. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful night. Thank you everyone for turning up at such short notice. Typically, we're meant to plan for this event over 6 weeks and continue advertising. But our rundown to this event was 2 weeks pretty much, or less. I think very, very short, but we've had a lot of enthusiasm. And I'll try to make a commitment to say, your enthusiasm will not be let down. Your enthusiasm will not be cut short. We will give it our best shot, and we are also counting on you. So we have dropped a link for you, analyticsafrica.org. You have a link there to share ideas. You have a link there to give feedback, and you have a link there to volunteer. So if you have an idea that we should do, of course, we have to run it through a panel, and a lot of people will review the idea. So if you give an idea and people are not taking it, please, and it is not implemented, it doesn't mean we didn't receive it. It might still be on our roadmap. So just be patient with us. We'll get to it. And we'll always revert to you to say, this is what your idea was about, and this is why. We'll try to give an explanation where necessary. Again, I apologize to Dapo. We are just pressed for time. It's past 9, and some people are sitting in their offices. Some people are in a very convenient spot for internet or light or electricity or whatever. So bear with us. We didn't take your question, but I promise we'll try to find a way to deal with it, because brain drain is real in Nigeria. It's a real issue that we need to think about. And of course, it's data related. So thank you to the volunteers who have worked with us. Thank you, Ugochi. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Theophilus. Thank you, thank you, Ayo. And thank you, there's a very young man in the university who has been very good with us. Thank you for all of you. And to our panelists, we say wonderful thank you. Ladies, Jennifer, Mercy, gentlemen, Shola, Nana, Dr. Nana, and Chief Mbamila Babafemi. Thank you very much. In absentia, I would say a huge thank you to Oreme. She was so excited about this, and you could see all the passion in her. Thank you everyone for coming in tonight. Feedback is key. Feedback is critical. Please, even if all you want to say is you tried, tell us. And even if it is not good feedback, we are open to take this feedback. We have a lot of, we are just numbing, and we are just growing. We are just forming, we are just growing. So please help us give the feedback so that we would be able to do a whole lot of stuff. We've recorded this video and is live immediately on YouTube. Analytics Africa is the channel name. You'll see a lot of analytics channels to show you how big data is, but just look for Analytics Africa launch event. Thank you for coming tonight. And I think it is a very good point for us to say good night. Sakadawo, Odaro, Bonui, Kachifo. Thank you, everyone. God bless you and have a wonderful Easter ahead. Thank you.